Thank you, Mayor Wilson. Now I'd like to have Ed Iskra come up to introduce our district governor.
On the subject of fines, I know I would have been fined for not introducing myself at the table. So my name is Ed Iskra, and I'm the Vice President. And I also knew I could not compete with an actor in the corner, a politician in this corner. The incredible Joanne Bunny, who was able to convince anybody into anything. And Marty. So my apologies, but I will try to make amends by introducing our district governor. So before he retired, Ken's last job was with the University of Winnipeg, helping faculty and university employees learn about computers and applications. And into year 2000, he and Donna then moved from Winnipeg to Gimli. Here's where I want to digress and talk about Gimli as now the home of the world's famous Scotch. Or no, it's whiskey. It's recognized as whiskey Bible. So that's a big deal, but I'm not going to talk about that. Anyhow, Ken was clearly an active individual because shortly after the move to Gimli, Donna suggested that he join a service club. And Ken chose Rotary. And a year ago, and that's when I first saw Ken speak, and that was in Russell, Manitoba, I heard Ken explain why he became a Rotarian. I recall him mentioning that Rotary provided an opportunity to express his belief that we're not fulfilling, or we need to fulfill our duties as citizens unless we are contributing to our community. So we're not fulfilling our duties as citizens unless we are contributing to our community, and that stuck with me for a while. So of the 47 clubs within the district, Ken Krebs is our district governor, all the way from Sioux Lookout to somewhere past Burton. I don't even know the names of the locations there. However, please welcome our Rotary's district governor, Ken Krebs.
Thank you, Ed. When I arrived, I knew I was on the schedule to speak. So I double-checked to find out what other speeches there would be and sort of what topics they would be talking about. And you're not getting the number 1 speech tonight, you're getting the number 2 speech, because when you come to things like this, you carry 2, just in case someone else is talking about things close to what you're going to be talking about. The organization within Rotary that is behind the honors that we are presenting to a number of Rotarians and some outstanding citizens today is the Rotary Foundation. And you're going to hear more about the foundation. Actually, you can read quite a bit more about the foundation on your placemats. But Rotary is the world's largest service club with over 1.2 million members in about 240 countries, 537 districts now. I think we expanded one this year. And they're all dedicated to doing good in the world. That's the motto of our foundation. Do good in the world. And we are asked to do good in the world through Rotary's 6 areas of focus. Now, our first area of focus is disease prevention and treatment. Now, as Rotarians, you've had Polio Plus beat on your head for the last, let's see, how many years since 1985 when we started the project? And it will continue for about another 2 to 3 years because we're on the verge of totally eradicating polio. We are now down to less than 1 new case of polio per month. So we've made great progress. But when we look at disease prevention and treatment, there are about 100 million people every year who are pushed into poverty due to medical costs. And we aim as Rotarians to improve access to low-cost and free health care in undeveloped areas. Our second area of focus is somewhat related, and that is water and sanitation. Now, the number of people who lack safe drinking water or lack proper sanitary facilities is mind-blowing. 2.5 billion, that's billion with a B, people around the world. Roughly a third of everyone on this planet does not have proper drinking water or proper sanitary facilities. So we try to give communities the ability to develop sustainable water and sanitation. The third area of focus is maternal and child health. Now, about 7 million children each year under the age of 5 die due to malnutrition, inadequate health care, and poor sanitation. To help reduce this, we provide immunization and antibiotics to babies and support health care for mothers and their children. Now, here's one of the things that was dear to my heart in Gimli: basic education and literacy. 67 million children worldwide have no access to education. 775 million people over the age of 15 are functionally illiterate. Our goal is to strengthen the capacity of communities to support basic education and literacy. And we're all very familiar with the Lemaisters and the astounding work they're doing through our district in Guatemala. I can't remember the precise number, but since the ripple effect started in, I believe it was about the year 2000, over 70 schools have been rebuilt or renovated through the efforts of Rotary clubs in our district working with Rotary clubs in Guatemala. Fifth is economic and community development. 1.4 billion working people around the world live on less than $1.25 a day. We carry out projects that enhance economic and community development. We provide opportunities for young and old, and especially women in impoverished communities. The sixth area of focus is one that cannot exist without our solving the major issues of the first 5, and that is peace and conflict resolution. It's difficult to live in peace and remain peaceful when there are inequities in the world, when the poor see the rich wasting, when someone is not well educated, they are easily influenced by people with evil intent rather than good intent. And nearly 60 million people were displaced by armed conflict last year. Now, that number does not yet count the Syrian refugees. So just think how many millions of people have been displaced through civil wars and international wars. Rotary works hard through the peace centers and works hard through the other 5 areas of focus to make peace possible and sustainable. Each year, through participation or partnerships with several of the leading universities, up to 100 Rotary Peace Fellows receive grants to develop the skills to strengthen peace efforts, to train local leaders to prevent and mediate conflict, and support long-term peace building. Peace is our most precious gift. It's also our most fragile possession. We can lose it by doing nothing, but to keep it, we must be vigilant, do everything possible to eliminate the causes of unrest: prejudice, poverty, illiteracy, illness, lack of the simple basics: food, water, and sanitation. And this is why the Rotary Foundation is essential to the work of Rotary worldwide. And of those who have contributed to the foundation, I thank each of you for your generosity and forethought, for ensuring that the work of Rotary continues far into the future. Thank you. Before I sit down, I had the law laid down to me. Somebody very dear to my heart wants to get up and say a couple of words.
I'd like to say thank you to everyone here to help me celebrate my 71st birthday today.